Hi guys, we are very sorry for the little break. We are working towards giving you the best. Now, someone forwarded this question today and I want us to look at it. It says, find the exact value of x that satisfies the equation x minus root x minus 2 is equal to 0. Alright. Now, what we're going to do now is to let the square root of x to be equal to an arbitrary parameter. So we now say let the square root of x to be equal to y. And let us call this equation 1. Alright, now if root x is equal to y, when you square both sides of this equation, we are going to have x is equal to y squared. Now let's call this equation 2. Okay, now when we substitute equations 1 and 2 into this equation, we are going to have y squared minus y minus 2 is equal to 0. Remember, we replaced x with y squared and replaced root x with y. That's why we have this. Okay, now this is a quadratic equation. And the easiest and the fastest method to get the roots of the equation is to use the factorization method, in which case we multiply these two with the coefficient of y squared here, which is 1. Now 2 times 1 is equal to 2, and the factors of 2 are 2 and 1. So we're going to replace y with those factors. So we're going to have y squared minus 2y plus y minus 2 is equal to 0, because minus 2y plus y is equal to minus y. Okay, now when we group this, we're going to have this. Now since y is common here, we factor it out. So we have y, and then we place whatever that remains inside the bracket. What remains here is y minus what remains here is 2. Then plus 1 into y minus 2 is equal to 0. Because 1 times y is y, and 1 times minus 2 will give us minus 2. Okay, now we now bring out the common terms. So we have y minus 2 multiplied by y plus 1 is equal to 0. Now, if the product of two numbers is equal to 0, then that means that each of them must be equal to 0. So that means that y minus 2 is equal to 0, or y plus 1 is equal to 0. And if y minus 2 is equal to 0, therefore y is equal to 2. If y plus 1 is equal to 0, that means that y is equal to minus 1. I hope you are getting what we are saying. Alright, but remember that we are not asked to find the value of y. Rather, we are asked to find the value of x. So what we are going to do now is to substitute these values into equation 2 to get the values of x. Okay, now when y is equal to 2, we put y as 2 in this equation. So we are going to have x is equal to 2 squared, and 2 squared is equal to 4. Now, when y is minus 1, we put minus 1 here. It becomes x is equal to minus 1 squared, and minus 1 squared is equal to 1. Alright. Now, remember the question says, find the exact value of x that satisfies the equation. Now, let us test which of these values satisfy that equation. Now, let us test x equal to 4. So if x is equal to 4, we now substitute the value of x as 4 in this equation. So it becomes 4 minus the square root of 4 minus 2. Let us see if the result is 0. Okay, now the square root of 4 is equal to 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So x equal to 4 satisfies the equation. Now let us test x equal to 1. Now, if we put the value of x as 1 in this equation, we have 1 minus the square root of 1 minus 2. Let us see if the result will be 0. Now, the square root of 1 is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 2 is equal to minus 2. And minus 2 is not equal to 0. So that means that x equal to 1 does not satisfy the equation. So the only value of x that satisfies the equation is 4. Thank you very much for your audience. Please don't forget to share our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.